स्वागत किया है मेरे यूट्यूब चैनल से। और आज सब लोगों के साथ बात करेंगे 500% यूएस टैरिफ ऑन इंडिया। Gokaldas Export, Avanti Feeds, others export oriented share tumble up to 13%. The share of these export oriented companies significantly declined as they drive a significant portion of their revenue from the American market. और आप लोगों ने देखा the share of export-oriented textile and the shrimp stock tumbled in trade on January 18th after US President Donald Trump approved moving forward with a bipartisan section bill that processed a whopping 500% tariff on countries continue to do business with Russia, including India. The shares of this export-oriented stock have seen significant volatility recently since Trump took office and hiked tariff on Indian imports to 50%, cutting New Delhi purchase of the Russia oil. Textile and the shrimp stock. Gokaldas Export shares crashes nearly 30% to trade at just 596.65 a piece. The stock later recovered some losses to close 8% lower in the rate. Revenue from year's account. KPR mile share fell more than 4%. Peer global industry shares meanwhile dropped around 8%. Apex frozen food share fell nearly 8%, while Avanti Feeds share dropped nearly 9%. The shares of these export-oriented companies significantly declined as they drive a significant portion of their revenue from the American market. 5% US tariff on India. Republican Secretary Lindsey Graham said that the bill would give US and the added leverage over country. Fooling Putin was messaged by the purchasing Russian oil. This bill would give President Trump tremendous leverage against countries like China, India, and Brazil to incentive them to stop buying the cheap Russian oil. That provided the finishing for the Putin bloodbath against Ukraine. Azera quotes Lindsey Graham, a sector for the US state of South Carolina, as a saying. He added that the legislation cleared by the Trump could be taken up for the bipartisan votes as early as next week as diplomatic export to the war in Ukraine continue. US Congress website showed that the proposed legislation titled the Sanctioning of Russia Act 2025 would also impose penalties on the individual and the entities and the sharply increase duty on all goods and services imported from the Russian into US to minimum of 500%. Signaling a significant escalation in the economic pressure. According to the Graham, the bill would give the US President border authority to the penalized country purchasing the discounted Russian oil, which Washington accused is helping finance Moscow war in Ukraine. This bill will allow President Trump to finish the continent that buy cheap the Russian oil, fooling the Putin war machine. He said, naming China, India, and Brazil as the potential target. The outcome of the much-awaited trade deal between India and US still remains elusive despite several efforts and the meeting between the officials from both sides. I have a very good relationship with PM Modi, but he is not happy with me as the Indians paying high tariff. But now they have the reduced it very substantial buying all from Russia. Trump said recently India has rejected the claims that the Prime Minister Narendra Modi promised to stop buying the Russian oil and maintaining that it is the energy purchase as a guide by national interest and the energy securities.